Hello my dear friends and welcome to my channel. Get yourself comfortable and prepare for some interesting stories. One of them is a story about a woman who threatened OP to have arrested cause OP threw away his own stuff over giving it to her. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you'll enjoy it. First, a little backstory. I recently moved across the country, back to warmer climates. It is very expensive to move furniture 2,000 miles. So, a lot of stuff is cheaper to buy new. As I was separating my personal and sentimental belongings from what I was going to replace, I had a brilliant idea. I decided to offer the stuff I wasn't taking with me for free online, as most of the items were still in good condition. I'd rather my old furniture and assorted items go to charities and people who could use them instead of the landfill. My only condition was that the person taking something had to pick up and transport any items themselves. The first item I posted was my pull-up tower with VKR. It had some minor wear and tear, but it was still overall in great condition. It was then that I encountered the dreaded EM. Thankfully, I only posted a newly created email account along with my town as my contact info to limit my exposure to potential threats. In this case, an irate Karen. No name, no address, just the town so people could assess travel for pickup. Me equals me, EM equals mother completely detached from reality. IK, innocent kid, college student. Soon after posting that my pull-up tower was available for free, I was contacted by IK. After an email correspondence, I suggested we talk on the phone and gave him my cell phone number. He called to discuss getting the tower. IK: Hi, I emailed you about the pull-up tower. I just started college at the state university in your town, and some friends and I are renting a house near campus. I think we could really use the equipment to save money by having it instead of a gym membership. Me: College is expensive, so I completely understand. Smart move on looking for ways to save money. I'd be happy to let you have it. You'll need to partially disassemble and reassemble to get it through the doorways. Nothing crazy. Just a couple of screws and bolts. It's surprisingly lightweight at 75 pounds and easy to move. Although, I do recommend a van or something large for transport. When do you think you can pick it up? IK: Probably next month. Me: Sorry, I'm moving in a couple of weeks, so I need it gone before then. If you can come sooner, it's yours. Otherwise, I'll have to give it to the next person. IK: Let me call my mom to borrow her car this weekend. It's a big SUV, and I should be able to swing by in a day or two. That's when everything started to go horribly wrong. It was clear from what transpired next that the whoever coined the phrase "no good deed goes unpunished" had clearly met this EM. I get a phone call from IK's phone, so I answer. Me: Hello? EM: You can deliver my son's tower on Saturday at 10 a.m. Me: What? Who are you? EM: I'm the customer. Are you stupid or something? I want you to deliver his workout equipment on Saturday. That's when I can be at the house to let you in. I'm very busy, you know. Me: I'm not a store lady, and I don't do deliveries. EM: What? How dare you? I'm a paying customer. Me: No, you aren't. The tower is free. I'm moving and giving it away. EM: That's no excuse for treating a customer like this. I want to speak with your manager. I can have you fired over this. As she continued to scream nonsense at me, the image of stereotypical Karen haircut popped into my mind. I don't know whether she had one, but I'm guessing she did. I could practically see the haircut in my mind while she ranted. Her son seemed so nice and polite, so I'm wondering if he was adopted or if there was a mix-up at the hospital. Then her next comment snaps me back to attention. EM: If you don't deliver on Saturday, I'll take my business elsewhere. Me: Fine by me. Click. Later on, IK emailed me to apologize for his mother. Like I said, he was nice, so I'm guessing maybe he takes after his father. He said he still wanted the tower, and I told him he could still have it. He called me to get the address and directions, and that's when EM reappeared. IK, so what time works for you? Me, I have some meetings earlier in the day, but I can meet you after 5 p.m. I'm in the northern part of town and will text you the address when I get home. EM, oh, it's you again. I hope you've learned how to be respectful to your customers. She must have snatched the phone from IK's hand because I could hear him protesting in the background. Me, again, you are not the customer. It's free. EM, well, that's no way to run a business, but I expect nothing less from an idiot. Me, whatever. Can you put IK back on? EM, not until we get some things straightened out. Me, like what? EM, if my son is going to pick up and assemble this himself, you need to compensate him. That's a polite thing to do. $500 sounds fair. Me, first, I'm not paying you to give your son something for free. Second, the item didn't even cost half that when it was still new. So no and no. EM, but my son is a smart college student with a bright future. His time is very valuable. Me, so is mine. EM, not as much as my son's, so $500 should be fine. Besides, as a college student, he could use the money. Why are you being so selfish? Me, how is a free pull-up tower being selfish? EM, also, what is the warranty on the product in case it breaks? Me, no money, no warranty. It's free and as is. EM, I need your company and warranty info in case it breaks and my son hurts himself, so I know who to sue. Lazy people, not the word she used, like you don't make quality products. Me, I'm not a company. I don't work for the manufacturer. I didn't make it. I'm just moving and giving it away. EM, what? Why are you trying to give my son gifts then? Are you some child harasser trying to seduce my son? I should call the cops on you right now, and I'll tell them about the money you still owe me, and I can have you arrested. Me, I don't have time to deal with a lunatic off her meds. Forget it. I'll just throw it out. EM, how dare you? Click. I ignored the rest of her calls, texts, and nasty voicemails that came throughout the day. Threats of suing me, demanding a refund, and claims that I was after her baby continued. Just bizarre. So glad I didn't post my address or name in the ad. I threw out the pull-up tower and considered the matter over. And I was wrong. Sunday morning rolls around, and my phone rings. It's early, and I was still sleeping, so I didn't check my caller ID before answering. Me, hello? I was only half awake and yawning. EM, where were you yesterday? I waited at the house all day for you to show up and deliver the tower. This is unacceptable. I'll have you fired over this. Me, what? Leave me alone, crazy lady. EM, I'll accept your apology if you deliver it today, and you need to give me a full refund for the cost of the item, being this late. I shouldn't have to pay for it. Me, you didn't pay anything. It was mine, and I threw the tower away. EM, what? I'm calling the cops on you. How dare you throw away my stuff? You're gonna be arrested. Me, the tower was mine to do with as I saw fit. I paid for it, and I had the receipt to prove it. I had every right to throw it out. EM, you're going to pay for the delay, the cost of the new tower, or I'm taking you to court. I'll have you arrested for stealing and fraud and child. Me, go ahead and try. The tower belonged to me. I have the receipt. I also have insane voicemails, threats, and texts from you. You have nothing. You'll be arrested for filing false police report, death threats, stalking, and probably more. Although, you probably have a good shot at the insanity defense. I hung up the phone and didn't pick up after that. She kept calling, but it didn't matter. I was getting a new number soon when I moved. After one, Karen. I took down my ads and made arrangements with a local charity run by a nearby church to pick everything up they wanted for the poor. They weren't professional movers, so some of the heavier stuff had to be taken by a trash service. Her son emailed me again to apologize for his lunatic mother. I told him he did nothing wrong, and he had nothing to apologize for. I said I was sorry he missed out on the free pull-up tower, and wished him the best of luck in school. This may seem a bit harsh, although it probably wouldn't benefit you much. I would go to the police anyway, because although you may be able to shut her down, there is potentially someone else that won't, and from a completely unprofessional opinion, she needs help. So a bit of a backstory. I am a 28-year-old woman who just recently went fully blind. When I was a teenager, I volunteered with my local youth group to help rebuild Mississippi after Hurricane Katrina. And while down there, I picked up a fungal parasite called histoplasmosis that over a decade migrated to my eyes and slowly caused blindness. I've been totally blind for about a year now, so I'm pretty new to it, but I digress. When I first went blind, I barely left the house. I was afraid to go out in public. I felt like everyone was staring at me, and in all honesty, I barely knew what I was doing. The transition had been difficult, and I didn't have any support group to teach me. One day, my husband asked me if I can take an Uber down to the bank and deposit the rent check, and I reluctantly agree. While out, he messages again and reminds me that we're out of a few crucial groceries. There was a Walmart grocery literally across the street from the bank, so I figured everything in life is an experience, and I'll have to learn how to shop alone eventually, so why not? Everything was fine at first, and I was only grabbing a few things, so I didn't need a cart. I was using my cane and what little echolocation skills I had at the time to get around, but it was still bumping into things as we blind tend to do sometimes. My cane suddenly hit something a bit softer, and I figured maybe I'd whack someone's leg and apologize. Cue entitled kid and entitled mother. Me, shoot, I'm sorry. Hey, you just hit my son. Me, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I didn't see him there. Begins yelling, how could you not see him? He's clearly right there. Now I'm fully blind, but I don't wear sunglasses. Mostly because I can't afford a good UV blocking pair. But also, I'm not ever looking for pity or to play the part of a generic blind person. I just want to be treated like a normal person. But I do understand her confusion, as blindness is a spectrum, so I try to calmly explain. Me, ma'am, I'm blind. I can't see anything, let alone your son. That's why I have to use this cane, so I can get around without. She cuts me off. You're blind? Why aren't you wearing big sunglasses? Now, as a blind person, I get a lot of stupid questions, but I understand a lot of them are just people who don't know better, so I try to happily answer as many as I can. Me, those are really expensive, around $200 for a good pair, and I really don't need any inside. You're not blind, you're faking it. Here is where my blood starts to boil. I can't think of any reason why someone would want to pretend to be blind. It's an actual hell. And nothing ticks me off more than when someone calls me a liar when I'm not. Just as I'm about to respond, I feel a tug, and before I blink, I realize this little demon's trying to snatch my $100 cane from my hands. For those of you who don't understand, that's like if you're shopping and suddenly the power goes out and you can't see a single light. Without my cane, I can barely move at all without crashing into anything. My voice gets shaky as I begin to panic. Please, give that back. I really do need it. No you don't, you liar. My son deserves to play with this more than you. I hear her shuffle and my expensive cane cracking into metal displays and such as they leave. I start crying and waving my arms in front of me to grab onto something, anything, and end up crashing and falling onto the center aisle display, making a loud scene. Without fail, I somewhat curl up into a ball and cry. I'm alone, in public, in the dark, and I had no idea what to do. Suddenly, I feel a hand on my shoulder, and a man's voice. We'll call him AG for awesome guy. Asks me if I'm okay to stay right here. I do but begin at least to sit up and listen. This man must have been tall and built like a tank, because his 4 steps sounded like a giant, and I felt a suction of wind when he took off. Maybe about 30 or 40 feet away, I hear this loud bellowing like an angry lion and then a loud crash. Then before I knew it, the man is back and helping me to my feet. He takes my hand and puts my cane into the palm and helps me pick up the items I dropped when I fell into the display. Me, wiping tears from my cheeks. Thank you. Thank you so much. I didn't know how to handle that. AG, don't worry about it. Some people are just monsters. This guy restored my faith in humanity and even helped me finish shopping and helped me out of the store. As we're leaving, I can hear the familiar screeching of EM. Something about AG grabbing the king and pulling it hard, flinging her little devil child into a shopping cart. I don't know if she exaggerated or not, but would explain the crash I heard. It's easy to feel alone in a world without sight, but even through the sheer terror of being stripped of my cane, at least I know there are people willing to stand up for me when I need it. Well guys, that's it for today. If you ended up enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. And if you missed the last episode on the channel, I'm gonna link it right here. The story's about an OP who is 10, and about OP's aunt and her kid, who ruined OP's birthday by doing terrible things. Check this out if you haven't, and we'll see you in my next video.